Hello, Taurus. Welcome. Take a seat and relax. There is nothing you need to do in this present moment except to relax and enjoy your reading. And to start things off, we have a little bit more of a darker lighting because I really want to use this salt rock lamp. And if I used my normal lighting, then you can't really see the light. You can't really see the colors. So to see the light, I darkened things up a little bit. And that is a response to the question of why does God allow bad things to happen, right? Well, with darkness, it's a lot easier to see the light. So if you really want to understand what the light is, if you really want to understand what good is, you gotta also know a little bit of darkness, a little bit of that badness, right? And the cool thing is that in your life, the darkness seems to be going away. The light is starting to shine more brighter. We got number 223 to start things off here. This is my card of everything you want in life you get. This is the moment that Michael finally got Holly. Finally. We waited so long. He was so patient. But he finally did it. He finally got her. And he says it goes to show that everything you want in life you get. And you can't work for it. It just comes to you. And now this is a quote from life. You already did the hard part. You are alive. And just for being alive, you deserve everything that you truly desire. That is a quote from life. And it's true. See, this is where we are, the earth, us. Right? And this is where we all started from. This is home, number one. Look at how far you made it. Look at that. You are so far away from home. Your journey has been long. But everything that you want in life you get because of the simple fact that you are alive and you deserve it. You deserve everything that you desire. And it's time for you to finally get that thing that you want. Right? And the cool thing is, that patience, what did it teach you? All of this waiting, all of this darkness, that's been happening. What is it teaching you? It's really obvious what love is when you are in the middle of so much darkness. Look at that. Truth and justice. Nice. Look at that. They're both holding up the sword upright like that. That's so cool. Justice. So in the Thoth Tarot deck, he changed the name of this card, and it's not called Justice. It's called Adjustment, because it's a better word to fit what the energy is, right? Because this Justice card isn't about like, oh, something bad happened, so you need to get revenge, you need to get justice on them, so something bad needs to happen to them, right? Or something like that. No, that's not really how life works. Life is all about balance, right? And unbalanced, and then balance because you knew the unbalance as well, right? Just like we were talking about. And this card is more about like, say you needed more money in your checkings account. Well, that money has to come from somewhere, right? So say you transfer from your savings to your checkings. So now your checkings has more money, but your savings, right, got less money because that's where the money came from, right? Is it justice? Is that justice for the checkings account that it got money from that savings account? Well, not really, right? I mean, it's just numbers and balancing out numbers, right? So this is also kind of deals with energy, right? In science, they teach us that energy can't be destroyed, right? Or created, really. It's transferred. It comes from somewhere. You have a ball of energy and it is something, and then if it turns into something else, right? And that is kind of what this card is talking about. It's not talking about justice, right? That's kind of the human perspective on this type of situation, on this type of vibe. Which is why Crowley changed it from justice to adjustment, because You know, we really want to take out that human perspective if you really, really want to understand it, because you got to understand it from a different perspective as well. And the Ace of Swords is here. This is truth, right? So if we zoom in on the swords element, the swords is all about your mental. The swords is all about the mind, your thoughts, the story, just like we were talking about, right? The story that your mind creates to better understand its environment. And we are at the home of it all. The number one, right? All of its potential, everything, all of the information is there. So the truth can simply either, you know, be found, or it can be ignored. And that is up to you. What balance would you like in your life? Aloneness, yep. And trust, cool, yep. So this is where you came from, right? The darkness, look at that. Aloneness, right? But make sure that you are alone and not lonely, right? Make sure you are a good company to yourself. And that's honestly one of the main things to figure out and to learn when you are alone, is how you can be a good company to yourself, you know, because all of the emotions you are creating them. All of these thoughts, you are creating them. When you are alone, do you want to see the truth or not? It is only up to you. And oh wow, this is cool. See, look, he was walking up to the ledge full of darkness, and then he finally jumps. And look at that, no more darkness. There is light. There is something there. You just need to trust this aloneness, trust the truth, trust the adjustment that life will create. And all of this is just for you. It's just so that you can get what you desire. So trust a little more with life. Right? Trust this darkness. Trust that darkness is there for a reason. Trust that bad things are happening for a reason, because it's just an adjustment. Right? It's just an adjustment. Just directing you right towards your own holly. So right now is the time to trust. Art, cool. Yep, life is creating. And 8 of Cups. So this is about the creating. Indolence. That's not very homey right there. But this wasn't very homey either. And this Justice card wasn't very homey as well until we figured it out. And now it's time to figure out this 8 of Cups. So the art, this is really cool. Okay, so imagine, right, just like in old cartoons, you know, they used to always have a person by himself, right? And then he had a devil on his shoulder, and then he had an angel on the other side. And they would usually be competing, right? Competing so that the guy picks their view, their perspective, right? But imagine if that devil and that angel started working together, because they both really wanted the same thing for the person. They want the best for that person, right? They're just tackling the situation from different angles. So now imagine if the angel and the devil started working together. Imagine what it can create, because they both really want the same goal. They just want to protect that person, right? Imagine Goku here has an angel and a devil. They both really want the best for him. They're just tackling it from different situations. Now imagine your angel and devil figure that out, and they start working together, right? Imagine all of the things that you can create, right? And this is kind of, I think, what that 8 of Cups is talking about. So the cups are about the feelings. How do you feel, right? How does the situation feel? How does this option make you feel? How does doing this option make you feel? Right? Because ultimately we want the truth here. Trust. Aloneness. Cool. I guess I kind of want to read a little bit about the 8 of Cups. It seems like there is something that this book that I 10 out of 10 recommend wants to say. 8 of Cups. Indolence. This is Saturn in Pisces, Lord of abandoned success. This card has a bad attitude. Saturn is a heavy and hard-nosed downer. And this far down the tree of life, delicate Pisces doesn't have enough juice left to put up any kind of fight. This card represents a party for which all preparations have been made, but the host has forgotten to invite the guests, or the caterers have not delivered the good cheer. There is this difference, though, that it is in some way or other the host's own fault. Harris's interpretation of indolence is perfect. A stagnant pool, drooping blossoms. The top 3 cups and the one at the bottom of the card are empty. The 2 in the center are spilling half their contents back into the sea. I feel like that's kind of like the angel and the devil not cooperating with each other, right? This could even be you and the life not cooperating with each other. You not trusting life, right? Because that's ultimately you not trusting yourself, right? Because your soul is the one that chose what it wanted to do as a human, that chose what the things that would happen to this human being, and then it became this human being. And now it's going through all of these things that it chose before it became a human being. Cool. The colors just kind of matched, so I haven't even looked at this thing yet, but as soon as I saw it, I saw that it was matching with this trust card. So I think that's the very most important thing right now, is to trust. And because when you don't trust and you're angry, it's literally kind of you closing your eyes to life, and life telling you what's going on, but you just ignoring it and saying, no, this isn't fair, I need justice, right? But what you really need is just to trust and keep watching. And life will let you know exactly why things are happening the way they are, and it's leading you directly to your Holly. Yes. Alright. So let's get some last bit of advice from the Office Oracle deck. We have number 9. Okay, cool. There is no road here. There is no right language, right? There's no right way to speak. There is a bunch of different ways to speak. There is not a correct one, right? And that kind of translates for me to religion, right? There's no one right religion. They're all just trying to describe the same thing, from a different perspective. They're all just different languages, right? There is no correct language to speak. There's just different ways of expression. Same with life. There is no correct way to live life, right? Everybody kind of creates their own path. So, oh, there's no road here. Look at that. But she's still trusting. That's cool. That's cool. Yes, Charles, you want me? Okay, this is all about positive words, right? This is how affirmations and manifestation works. Okay, so this is how Holly will appear. Okay, so Kelly waits by the office and says, "Yes, Charles, you wanted me." Kelly is thinking that if she says it enough, eventually he will in fact want her, and that is the basis of affirmations and manifestations. Okay, now let's close in on affirmations. All right, because it's important, because you want to be obviously your best self when Holly arrives, right? So affirmations: if you are not confident but you wish to be, make sure you tell yourself in the mirror, look at yourself in the mirror, and every single morning tell yourself, I am confident. I am confident. Throughout the day, anytime you start thinking the opposite, make sure you tell yourself, I am confident. I am confident. Even if it's not true yet. It is a huge difference than telling yourself that you are not confident, right? But there's one more step. Confident people don't need to tell themselves that they are confident. They just are confident. So just be confident. But telling yourself, right, those words of I am confident helps a lot more than saying I am not confident. A manifestation is exactly the same thing. Remind yourself, right, of what it is that you want in your life every single day. Make it a part of your everyday pattern to somehow remind yourself of what it is that you are trying to manifest in your life, right? Affirmations, we are trying to manifest confidence, right? So you're reminding yourself that you are confident, right? Manifestations, it's the same thing. You're just reminding yourself of what it is, and you're making that part of your pattern, right? When you consistently make it a part of your pattern, you will somehow find a way to have what you want in life, right? That's life. Literally, there's no road, but you're helping life guide you, and life is going to guide you right towards Holly. So affirmations and manifestations, they are all about replacing an old pattern with a new one. Yes. All right. I really hope this reading helped. If it did, please help me with a like, with a comment, and subscribe if you would like to keep hanging out, as this is a safe place for us to try to learn life together. So thank you for being here, and I hope to see you in the next one. Peace.